Hi, everyone. I'm your host, Charlene Shirk, and welcome to Advertising Champions, where we speak to some of the most innovative thinkers in the advertising space. We have got a great show for you today because joining us is Abe Gottesman with Game of Silks, Cedar Milazzo with Trustie Inc., Olivia F. Scott with Omerge Alliances, and Joseph Federico with Anchors To Dusk. We have a wide variety of industries before us. Speaking of such, we're going to start with Abe. Abe, tell us what you do there at Game of Silks.
I'm Chief Marketing Officer at Game of Silks, and Game of Silks is horse racing on the blockchain. We turn horses and create NFTs off of thoroughbred racehorses and allow people to own those and experience ownership of a racehorse through the metaverse for its lifetime.
Wow. We're getting introduced to the metaverse through horse racing. I love it. Looking forward to learning more about that. Cedar, let's go to you. What do you do over there at Trustie?
So Trustie basically is creating a safer and healthier internet. And the way we're doing that is we're bringing advertising back to credible and trustworthy content. And in the process, we're getting advertisers better results. I'm the founder and the CEO. I have a background in technology, and we're using AI to kind of evaluate every page on the internet and basically tell if it's trustworthy or not.
I love that. Finally, bringing trust back to the internet. Thank you for joining us today. Olivia, tell us what you do there at Omerge Alliances.
Wonderful. So, hello. Omerge Alliances is a marketing management consultancy. I've been doing marketing on the brand, media, and the agency side for 27 years. So we take all that experience and give it specifically to beauty and wellness brands. And we work really particularly in the event production space as well.
And when you say event production space, is that for beauty brands?
Beauty and wellness. So like I could go on and on, but like we just produced the Essence Wellness House. We're producing an event in Memphis in a few weeks, but our events really are focused around content in the beauty and wellness space.
Wonderful. And Joseph, what do you do over there at Anchors To Dusk?
Sure. So originally we started off as a publishing company back in 2007, 2008, but the market unfortunately crashed. So you had to evolve and pivot, which is still a buzzword going on in a post-COVID world. We literally change lives one post at a time on social media, and we specialize specifically with working with celebrities, and we're evolving actually into music management.
All right. Well, I want to start with my question about some of the biggest trends in your industry and in your niche. And Cedar, I want to start with you because trustworthiness and authenticity and being genuine has really come into the vernacular now, I think post-COVID, in the midst of politics. So talk to us a little bit about how is that a trend that you're seeing? Are you looking at what you are doing as a result of some of this? I can't believe what I read on the internet anymore.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, both consumers, advertisers, brands, even advertising agencies are really starting to pay a lot more attention to responsibility and also to trustworthiness. So they're not wanting to align their brands with things that just don't make sense or that are toxic, right? And it's because of the push from consumers. So this trend among consumers to know what their brands are supporting is really trying to kind of pushing the advertising industry to actually clean itself up a little bit.
And Olivia, what are you seeing as a trend in your space?
Influencer marketing, right? We're hearing about it more and more all the time. But what I'm finding is that during COVID, as we all know, brands were ill-equipped to continue their marketing at that time because they couldn't do photo shoots, many of them. They couldn't actually physically do the photo shoots. So they turned to influencers who were already uniquely prepared to be brand representatives. And so that brand ambassadorship is continuing to grow. And now I think we're at a point, Forbes.com, they just mentioned that 15 billion is the amount that's projected to be spent on influencer marketing in 2022. So I'm finding this it's becoming more and more the wild, wild west, and figuring out, even going back to what Trustie is saying, trying to establish where are the trust metrics, the FCC, they have more guidelines around influencer marketing, but really trying to monitor that.
I was just going to ask, how do you keep that authenticity when you do have all this influencer marketing blowing up? Because I want to show that your product works on me because you'll come to me as an influencer.
Yeah, and what I always say, I don't want to speak too much right now, but I'll tell you that what I always advise my clients around is have some defamation clauses and some guardrails in your agreements, right? To make sure they can't go too far off the rails of what it is you want them to communicate. But trust whatever influencers you're going to engage with, do the research in advance, and then trust them. Trust that they already know their audience, they know how to package the content in a way that's compelling, and give it to them. If they want to do it in the morning breakfast reel, if they want to do it in dedicated video, trust them and allow for them to really authentically engage. But the
All right, and then
important.
thank you. And then Abe, talk a little bit about this is such a new industry with the meta and the NFT and all this stuff. Are you the trend?
Yeah, so I mean, we're going through an interesting period right now. NFTs are taking a bit of a hit, but there's a flight to quality right now. People are looking for really great projects like ours, and people are really engaging. So our community is really engaged with what we're doing. We talk to them quite often on a lot of different channels. Discord's a very big one for us, where we've got almost 30,000 people engaged on, in our Discord channel. So that's really what's working for us. It's a lot of communication during this period of time and showing what we're doing, not just talking about what we're doing.
And Joseph, with you being in this market, in this industry for so long, and really, like you said, having to pivot and having to adjust and change, what are the trends that you're seeing right now?
Sure. So as Cedar had mentioned, and I would have to agree with him, we are seeing a lot of organic, transparent trends that brands, as well as consumers specifically, need to trust the brands on social media, namely on Instagram. As we come to the end of 2022, we have 9 billion active users daily on the platform that is Instagram, that everyone knows. It is in direct competition with TikTok. So people are looking for organic, transparent stories, and actually Instagram is trying to, not in a negative sense, but combat the TikTok trend in actually rewarding organic, transparent content creators, and are releasing their content to a wider audience by being transparent going forward on the platform.
Yeah, Instagram Reels is the reason why I don't go to bed till 11 o'clock at night. I keep trying to tell myself to shut it off. But, and to Olivia's point, in terms of influencers, it's kind of like, what took everybody so long? I mean, the Kardashians, love or hate, have been around forever, and they really are the genesis of an influencer. And so today you've got, when I see somebody else who looks like me, sounds like me, doing something I think I can do, or wearing something I can wear, I do feel an affinity to them versus some model that's been hired to show me what I should look like. So Olivia, can you speak a little bit to that, where what your thoughts are? Is it a long time in coming with the influencers, or is this something that, maybe this is just a trend and we're going to move back to where we used to be?
No, I think it's here to stay. I really, really do. I believe that people have become more sophisticated over the years. Back in the day, I go back to 1998 when I first began in partnership marketing, and it was okay. We all knew that we had to pay celebrities to sponsor events. And over time, I think we kind of wore weary of that, knowing that they were being paid. Now it's like finding someone who looks like you, who's more relatable. They might be getting a few coins, but you actually trust them more. There's this trust factor. And so I think that people, if we just look at the growth of so many different subsectors of influencers, I think it's here to stay. We just have to figure out a way to regulate it, which is where, for anybody who's really interested in that, the FCC does have very specific guidelines, as I mentioned, and just beginning to figure that out. But I don't think it's going anywhere. I think it's about to really go crazy.
Cedar, I think it's a good time to bring you into the conversation, because that's what everybody's looking for, is authenticity. This is what Trustie Inc. is all about. But what are some of the challenges maybe in trying to ensure and safeguard that something is truthful and trustworthy?
Well, there's a lot of different aspects, everything from, what words are written on the screen to, is the image or is the video actually manipulated? You have everything from deep fakes, where somebody can be completely generated by an AI, to, shallow fakes where you're just tweaking a little bit to make yourself look more attractive and things like that. And all of those things kind of take away from that authenticity in my mind. And I think that the fact that trust kind of needs to go both ways, where advertisers need to trust that their audience is really there, that they're not bots and then paid for traffic, but also that that the audience can trust the content as well, right? Whether it's a video that, somebody's tweaked and made themselves look younger or something like that, or whether it's content they're reading that says, something that's just a conspiracy theory. So our AI is really designed to kind of ferret all those things out and kind of make sure that advertisers are not supporting those content generators that are really kind of trying to get by with fake stuff.
And Abe, I gotta ask you, what's your biggest challenge? Because I think you mentioned yourself that, hey, we've taken a hit lately in NFTs, and I think, trustworthiness, but then also just understanding the NFT process has got to be another challenge.
Exactly. So we've done a lot in that way. We've integrated credit card and email sign up so people can use like Web 2 tools to get into Web 3. And our biggest challenge is education. So we're putting out education in the form of articles, a lot of news, and a lot of ways for people to learn as they move into the project. We're not a top of the funnel or middle of the funnel project. And that's how we combat that. And that's what we're actually doing to make it work and to be authentic. We have a really big issue in our space with bots and authenticity and making sure that there's real engagement. So it's not just authentic, so to speak, but it's engaging.
And what's going on with Elon Musk and Twitter right now? How much of these engagements are actual authenticity? And that comes down to an economic issue when you have a company and an organization, not just a reputation issue. Okay, we're in rapid fire round. Joseph, I'm going to start with you. What is your best advertising tip?
I would say, as I had mentioned a few moments ago, to be as transparent or organic as possible. No longer are the days where you can post a static image or a long form video that is super structured and super smooth. People are looking to stop the scroll. You have 18 to 30 seconds to stop the scroll on your advertising, especially on the platform that is Instagram. We have to make it look simple and trustworthy, and that's how you proceed going forward to produce the ROI that you're looking for with your audience.
All right, Olivia, your best tip.
Do your research. Yep. Do your research and find your tribe and refine your message in advance. People are like, it didn't work. Well, what didn't work? Was it the message, or was it that you didn't have your actual tribe refined? I actually believe that there is room for every product in the universe if it offers a compelling value proposition. But you really do need to do the research in advance to find the specific tribe that you're offering a solution to, and then make sure that message appeals to them specifically.
All right, Cedar.
I think it's back to transparency and actually making sure that you're paying attention to where your ads are running. We've seen that 50% of ads could be running in front of a bot or delivered to a connected TV where the TV is actually turned off. So really paying attention and making sure that the technology providers you're working with are giving you full transparent information on where your ads are being shown and who they're being shown to.
All right, Abe, bring it home.
Yeah, second what Cedar's saying, we have great analytics and we watch the funnel from end to end. You have to be very nimble. You have to be authentic. And like Olivia said, you really have to understand your tribe and who you're talking to. So I think that all these are great messages as to, really what drives us home.
All right. Well, folks, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today on Advertising Champions. That was great insight. We valued the time that you took with us today.
Thank you, Charlene.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Charlene.
Oh, our pleasure. And if you'd like to learn more about what they're doing at their respective organizations, please go check them out on dailyadbrief.com. My name is Charlene Shirk. I'm your host today, and we look forward to learning something new with you next time on Advertising Champions.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's Addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's Addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.